girl is fine, you're fresh and beautiful. No, no, no. See, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. You do for me. Oh, no. Sugar, 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 the sweetie sugar, the melody like honey, oh, anyway, the melody like butter, oh, anyway, the melody like butter, Them say, the blessing where you do, them say, salvation where you do, you bless the boy, you give him victory, the girl is fine, no fashion, beautiful, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good, you do for me,
Yes, sir. Wow, 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 wow. Woo! Wahala deo. Wahala deo. Where is my fan? Wow. Woo. Yes, tonight is the night. Tonight is gonna be a great night. Absolutely, yes. It's gonna be a great night. Let me see what the family members are saying. Wow, wow. God, Wave is already saying wow, wow, wow. Zitis, how are you, my darling Zitis? And then Princess Elizabeth, long time no see. Mohammed Taiwo, how are you? Good evening, Mohammed. Good evening to you. Goodness, I love your dancing steps. Thank you. Queenette Owa, I'm so happy to have seen Queenette. It was a great one, honestly. Queenette, how are you? Jane Ike, how is our husband? Ike man. And Josie, how is our husband? Josie Nze. Chijoke, beautiful hair. Is the same hair, Chijoke. Thank you. Anyway, Patience said, good evening, ma. Good evening, Patience. And Christy Nazi said, nice. On that note, I want to go quickly into our topic for today. And tonight, we are going to be talking about You Got the Power. Yes, tonight is You Got the Power Part 2. Yes, because, yes, we are talking about human rights, but human rights is power unto you. But most times we do not honestly use the power. However, your host for the night is your one and only Nurse Angel. And tonight we have our wonderful speakers. We are still expecting one of our speakers who said they will be delayed. But here on the screen is our one and only Barrister Temitope. Yes, Barrister Temitope is on the screen and he's ready to unleash the dragon. Yes, you know him. He is a great speaker, and we are also expecting to hear from the human rights activist, Majorie. Yes, Majorie hopefully will be joining us at some stage. I just want to remind us all to remember, please, that our tags and shares are still going on. So continue sharing and tagging, tag and share to your friends so they too will come and watch the show. Without further ado, I want us to dive quickly into farms engagement. We will quickly engage with farms, which is how we usually do. But before we do so, let me see. Well, yes, share, yes, absolutely. I agree. Exactly. Chukwebe, Chukwu Ube. Chukube, how are you? Good evening, Chukube. Chris Obason. Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much, Chris, for welcoming everyone. So tonight, I'm not in my bubbly self, but I will soon be. Let us ask. Okay, before we ask the questions, I want to play this video for you. Please keep tagging your friends wherever you are. You need to come and watch this video. Family, you need to come and watch this video. And remember, there may be something coming. Let's first of all watch this video. It's just 1 minute. It's a 1 minute video. Then we will continue with our family engagement time. Yes. Okay, I'll go to the backstage.
Can you tell which of these children was not born free? Can you tell which of these children was not born equal? Can you tell which of these children does not deserve to be treated with dignity? We can't either. Human right number one. We are all born free and equal. What are human rights? Find out.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Yes. Yes. We just played a video for you. Yes. And the video showed a lot of children, black, white, pink, yellow, orange, green, all the colors on earth, and big and small kids who wanted to know, and I'm not seeing any answer. Is there any child that is not born free? Let me know that child that was not born free, that was born with chains in their hands. I want to see. Yes. So right now we are diving in. I'm so happy because our second wonderful, great, excellent speaker is also here. We will soon ask them to greet. But before we do so, family engagement time is priority. So, fams, we want to ask you all quick. Can you please define for me, what do you understand as dignity? What do you don't need to define long Jace. Just tell me one word. What do you think dignity is all about? What is dignity? Family, what is dignity? I want to read. What is dignity? Okay. Zitis say let's share. Daniel, beautiful Daniel say no, every child is born equal. Fantastic. We are all equal. Riri said yes. So right now we are all born free. Abubakar, my lovely friend, I love you. Thank you for that. And right now the question is, what is dignity? What is dignity? Oh my God, our family members are just sharing the words attached to something. Absolutely. Thank you. I like the way you defined it, Nanshak. You didn't go to give me all the long definition. Christine, as he said, the state or the quality of being worthy of honor or respect. Thank you very much, my people, my people. I'm our governor, Amma. How are you, Amma? I'm asking, fantastic. Jennifer Ngozi said, a state of being honored. Absolutely. And globally, globally, thank you for coming back. We've missed you. I've missed you. Family have missed you. Globally said is honor. Absolutely. Chintok said to be noble. All right. And Rifi said the state of being honored and respected and pride. Okay. Obianyo said dignity means deserving respect. The next question is, who amongst you wants to be dignified? Family members, if you don't want, say no. If you want, say yes. Who wants to be dignified? Who wants to be respected? Because I remember when we asked about men and women, they said men have to be respected. I was, what about women? But let's ask you, who wants to be respected? Oh, dear me, Nanshak said me. Angel said me. Faith said yes. Govli said I. And Chukwebu said exactly. Ezine ION newscaster said myself. Yes. Chijoke said no. I don't know what she means by no. Hassan said we are all born equal and free. You are the best, Hassan. I love you. And Chi said yes. All right. Now the next question is asking, please, can you all define human being for me? What a stupid question. Yes, I know. But please, can you define? Just tell me a word. You don't need to tell me long G's. The dictionary said that. The book of this said that. No. What do you understand by the term human? Human. When you hear human being, what does that mean? Human being. What does that mean? Ola said, I want to be respected. Fantastic. Can you please quickly define human being? Because I want us to quickly talk about what we are in here for, which is what we are talking about. Well, yes. What can you define human being for me, fams? Fams, can you define human being? You're still saying you want to be respected. Okay. Or Christian, as they say, human being relating to or belonging to a person or to people as opposed to animals. Fantastic. That is absolutely true. Nanshak said they are higher animals with sense. I like that. Because sometimes when we are talking about polygamy, side chick, men with some, not all. Some men will start saying they are animals. They are animals. I'm wondering, how are you animal? Is it because we are talking about polygamy and side chick? What made you animal? Nansak, I like the way you say that they are higher animals with sense. Thank you very much. Because one of the questions I ask is, don't you have sense? Wonderful. I'm so happy. Chama said, human being is somebody. Chicken. Yes, so I agree. Originated people. Originated people. Woo. Wow. Higher animals. Okay. Allah said, human being is someone that has life in he or she. You see, I like you, Ola, because you talked about life. I think a lot of other animals and plants also have life. What separates human being from animal? Someone has said to me, sense. Adenike said, human being is creation of God. Of course, absolutely correct. And also animals and plants. And a whole lot like seas, water, land are all created by God. I just wanted something to separate human beings from animals. And Fred Sonny said, human beings are higher animal with sense. I like that sense. The sense they sweet me for body. Invite your fam. Okay. Chukwu say wonderful. Okay, I'm still looking to see human being. I say a living man or woman. Okay, thank you. And Adeshina has gone to bring out a lot of answers for us. She said, human beings, human or modern human, are the most common and widespread species of primates and the last surviving species of genus Homo. And they are great apes characterized by their hairlessness. Okay, and I think I see high intelligence as well. So I like that high intelligence part of it. Images of God. Wow! Babalola said humans are images of God. Wonderment. All right, let's go to the next one. Quick. Can you define rights? You've talked about dignity, which is respect, honor, and what have you, self-worth. You've talked about human rights. Now I want you to define human being. Now I want you to define rights. Can you define rights for us? Or let's go straight to human rights, because we have rights. A lot of different organizations have rights attached to them, which is not probably we share. They won't give me the right they're giving to their employees. But let's go into human rights. Can you quickly tell me one word or so? What is human rights? Thank you, Bamidele. Bamidele said right means what someone deserves. Absolutely correct. Chukwebe said right is morally good and acceptable. Okay, so what is human right? Okay, she's still defining human beings, also defined as self-conscious, willful. Okay, I like the willful there for human beings. Now, what is human right? Gobley said, human rights are rights inherent in all human beings, regardless of your race, your sex, your nationality, ethnicity, language, religion, or any other status. Chikena, case closed. This is the definition of human right, and it's all encompassing. Globally, touched on everything about human rights. Rights, which is not human right, rights that which is morally correct, just and honorable. Correct. Thank you very much. And our last and the least is, my question now is this. So you have defined a lot of questions thrown out to you. The last and the least question now is religion. You see, we have a lot of definition of human rights, meaning rights inherent in us. You are born with it, irrespective of your race, color, religion. You said it, and I love that definition. Now, the question now is religion and human right, which supersedes. What I mean by this is, if your human right is in or your religion interferes with your human right, which should supersede, or if human right infringes on your religion, which one supersedes the other? This is the last question. Let me see what the family members have to say about religion and human rights. Which of the rights should supersede when they clash? Okay? Isn't it said human rights supersedes? Okay, are you sure? Are you sure? Okay. Oh, yeah, you say human rights supersedes. Are you sure? You should not just type it because Nurse Angel wants to read this. You don't know what I want to read, though. And Sonny say human right. Chijoke say human right. Bamidele say human right. Don't you guys go to religious places of worship? And Riri said human rights. Wow, human rights. Wow, Angel is my namesake. Say human rights. Okay, oh, human rights. Everybody's saying human. Ngozi Amaka said human rights. Adeshine said human rights. Are you sure? See our family members. So, Princess said human rights. Okay, oh, Christopher said religion, a particular system of faith and worship. No, I didn't say define it. I said religion and human right, which supersedes when they clash. For instance, if your religion say, for example, if your religion say slap somebody, and human rights say don't slap, which one will you do? Is it what human rights says or what religion says? I want to hear you. Which one do you do obey? Human rights or religion? I say CBCK. So let's close now. No need to have this talk show. The family members have closed the talk show. Let me see. Someone wrote a long gist. Where is the long gist? Ezinye said, yes, I am sure human rights supersede even the Constitution. Yeah, oh, Jesus. I can't believe it. Globally, Rahman said human rights 100% are more universal than religion, since religion is personal convention and that can be varied from place to place. Hey, case closed. Wow, I'm so excited. I am surprised, more surprised than excited. Tonight, as I said earlier, we have our two wonderful speakers that are ready to dig it. Yes, and they are Barrister Tope. Barrister Tope, do you want to unmute and greet the family members, please? Barrister Tope.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, great family members.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah. And our human rights activist, Majori, do you want to greet the family members as well?
Oh, yes, I'm so excited. Good evening, family members. I've missed you guys.
Yes,
I look forward to an exhilarating time with you this evening.
Absolutely. Human rights activists, family members were asking, where is Madam Majori? Where is she? That this human rights topic is where you need to come and shine and speak to them. Okay, on that note, I think I may need to start with a bit of intro, a little bit of intro. I want to say that, family members, it is very, very easy to forget about human rights. Let's be honest. I'm shocked to read all your writing because you guys are writing like experts. You're writing, but when you look around the society, the opposite is what is obtainable in the society. And that is because people easily forget. You know, when push comes to shove, people forget that about human rights, especially when it does not affect them. For example, when Martin Luther King was marching for equality for blacks and whites, we were all happy. We read it. We were all happy reading history to see that one man who stood and marched And when he was marching, he gathered a lot of people. People were marching with him. They were being killed. They were beaten. They were arrested. They were flogged, stoned, shot at. They kept marching. And when we read this history, we are happy because why are we happy? That march passed by Martin Luther King Jr. and others are why we are not bought and sold as slaves, as blacks and Asians and other people that suffered from slavery. Martin Luther King fought and marched, and when he marched for human rights, equality for blacks and whites, the human rights has already been instituted. The Declaration for Human Rights is already there. However, it was not implemented. People were not demanding for their rights. So Martin Luther King demanded, and we all benefited. That is why we are no longer slaves. We are free. Now, however, today, when children are crying and begging not to be abused, we give deaf ears. After I'm not a child, I'm not abused. Nobody beats me. Nobody can beat me. I'm grown. We give deaf ears. We don't care because it doesn't affect us. And also, when women are asking for equal treatment, when women are asking for equal treatment as their male counterpart, our black brothers and sisters, we forget that we all also marched for freedom and equal rights for whites. When women start crying and fighting for equality, you're being blocked and shot at. Why are you asking? Are you not, can't you know, don't you know we are higher than you? But look at you, look at what you're writing. Human rights takes precedent over every other thing. And also sometimes certain men, when they are marching and asking for equal rights, for instance, let them have rights to stay at home when their wives deliver, let them stay and also support their wives like omugo, like the Igbo people would say, like paternity leave. People were like, excuse me, why will you ask for it? Forgetting that they are also the father to the child. They also need to bond with the child. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is whenever one group is asking for rights, equal treatment, the other group that is not affected start to feel a kind of challenged. They start to feel, oh my God, threatened. They start to want to block the rights of the other person because they think that those people don't deserve rights. Why? That is the question. Why? Today, we know family. Let me see what the family members are saying. Sorry. Okay. Yes. So, all right. They're all saying yes. So today, I want to go a little bit back to history. Then I will allow the speakers to speak. You remember, human rights are the rights we have simply because we are human beings. We all know that. It's simply put, because I am a human being, I have human rights. It's not because I'm a woman, I'm a man, I'm a boy or girl, or I'm black or white. It doesn't matter what language you speak. What is your status? I'm a king or I'm a normal person. It doesn't matter. As long as you are a human being, you have human rights. These are the rights that we instinctively expect and deserve to be treated like a person. What is human rights? The rights I need because I am a person, and like the right to life, the right to live freely, the right to be treated as equal. I repeat, people will say, no, men deserve this more than women. No, women deserve it. Nobody deserves anything more than the other. We all demonstrated last time, and I showed you a delivery, normal delivery and CS. None of you could ascertain what gender was being born, because all men and women are born equal. There was no one that came with chain or came with king spoon. No, we are all equal and we deserve to be treated equal. There are many kinds of rights, as I said earlier. You can see rights attached to some groups and organizations, but human rights are the only right that applies absolutely to everyone, everywhere. What does that mean? Whether you are young or old, you are poor or rich, you're a traditional leader or a citizen, you're a musician or you're an actor, you're a trader or you're unemployed, you're a teacher or you're an African, you're an Asian or Christian, you're Muslim or you're a mom, you're a dad or you're a single person, you're not a mother or you're not a father, you're an adult or your next door neighbors, or you. Everyone, including you, have the same exact human right, because we are all human beings. I will keep quiet at this stage. I have many things to say, but let me keep quiet because I have on the screen your experts on the field. They are here to support the notion or to go into it. So I will want to start with Madam Marjorie. Madam Marjorie, thank you for coming. I was worried. I'm like, oh my God, we need this human rights expert to be here. Who am I? What do we know? We need you because, Madam Marjorie, you are a human rights advocate. You are on the field day and night. You're fighting for equal rights. You're fighting for the vulnerable, those that are abused. Last week, we were talking about a lady that was killed because a certain extremist, it's not about the religion, it's the extremist decided that she blasphemed and therefore she was stoned to death, or burned. She was stoned, then burnt. Now I was asking everyone, I said, what do we do? What do we do? They said the deed has been done. I was heartbroken. Yes, the deed has been done. How do we look at Martin Luther King in respective of the fact that the human rights have enshrined, that they made a declaration to say that we are all equal, but we are not treated as equal until he marched. It took a law, but he marched and he got what he deserved. We are now equal before the law. Right now, I want to ask you the same question I asked the speakers last week, because I'm still not completely done. I will still ask this question until justice is brought. My question to you, Marjorie, is what do we do to bring the perpetrators that stoned this poor, because it could be you, Marjorie, it could be me, it could be anybody, it could be our children, it could be our loved ones, our friends. Because it's not us does not mean it's done. Let's leave it, it's okay. What do you think, Marjorie, can we do to bring the perpetrators to justice?
Thank you so much, Angel. I believe this is alluding to Deborah's
Correct,
case.
absolutely.
It was widely publicized, and as painful as it is, some people begin to look at the family as a case for charity. Yes, they need support. Yes, it is good, and a lot of publicity without the right conversations being engaged. Some people would like to say that she's dead. No, a fundamental right was forcefully, suddenly, dastardly, painfully taken from this woman. So, and it's the right of the state. That is why we have government. It is the right of the state to ensure that every one of us, irrespective of color, race, creed, religion, whatever, class, does not lose their human rights. The state failed to protect her. Shamefully, persons in my sphere of influence fail to hold the state accountable. So that's where we'll start. Your question is simple. What do we do? First, we as citizens have a right to take the state to court, asking them to bring the persons who perfected this dastardly act to book. We, the people, have a right to bring a class action against the state on the infringement, the total deletion of Deborah's fundamental rights, especially that first right of right to life. Amazingly, no human being, the Declaration of the Human Rights by the UN, or making it a document that every country so believed in signing, did it transmit or transfer to you and I as humans what human rights. It didn't. The mere fact that we're created man and woman equal, the mere fact that illustration you gave about betting, everybody is betted the same way. Nature itself speaks to the equality in humans and the right to life. Even the things we term animals and plants have this right.
Yes.
People are agitating and going on rallies and street rioting even because they are trying to enforce animal rights.
Correct.
And here, you cannot just kill, slaughter, or maltreat an animal. But people tolerate inhuman treatment upon human. And we turn the other cheek. We look the other way because it is not come to us yet. Forgetting that what we tolerate, we can never correct.
Yes.
What we tolerate, we have come to enable. What we tolerate, we cannot condemn and bring to an end. So until we internalize the truth and the fact that by supporting and protecting the other person's rights, I am also affirming, strengthening my own right.
Yes.
Then we can just be having conversations and not making headway. It is painful that a lot of people are becoming so adapted to the abuses. Some people accept it. Abuse has become a daily facet of our lives. Take, for instance, you send your child to school. Let me move away from Deborah. I like to give everyday real examples when we talk about our beloved country, a beautiful country like Nigeria, but that has been abused. A wonderful mentor, senior comrade, once said to us in a class, he said that he compares Nigeria to woman. Nigeria is a woman, and every male is lined up and molesting her continuously sexually. She's being raped. But until each of these men who are violating Nigeria so dastardly and shamelessly realize of their own accord that only one thing can be the outcome of their violation of her death, and that also knells their extinction, because they need Nigeria to survive. But when they persist in violating her, raping her, sexually molesting her, Nigeria will die, and it will be good night for all of us. Until, likening it to the conversation on human rights, until we realize that the level of protection, the level of passion, the level of empathy I as an individual put out there to the defense of human rights, of persons, irrespective of who they are, irrespective of language, irrespective of tribe, irrespective of religion, irrespective irrespective of status, until we begin to have this conversation, not just have them, until we begin to show commitment to these ideals. They will remain only ideals, and they can never be transmitted on themselves, and begin to engage them. We'll all be making methods. If you're a lawyer, you need to know that beyond the professional fee and beyond the client's lawyer relationship, there is humanity underlying all of this. And that is what is most important. That is what is most important. Beyond you collecting a fee, and you know that you are setting somebody who is a potential danger to a lot of innocent and assuming persons, you have a right to speak up. But we don't see a lot of these things because people just monetize everything. And that is killing all of us. Yes, Deborah has a right that was forcefully taken to her, and that's a fundamental right which is inalienable. It is given to every human, irrespective of whatever disadvantage society may term it. But it was taken from her, and the state, citizens, irrespective of all of this too, have a right to ask questions about her from the government and hold them accountable, because it's a two-way relationship. Citizens, and it's because we do not have this accountability.
Fantastic.
Ocean. That is why we accept the bad governance.
Yes.
We begin to make excuses for why a government is better, a bad government is better than the incoming or their predecessor. It's all crazy. And because we don't have this focus, we cannot transmit the same ideals. And I tell you, human rights transmits power. It translates dignity. It translates respect of the human person to human beings. So the more we keep quiet, the more we allow these things, it causes an erosion. And we will raise a generation who have no idea what you're talking about. They have very, very poor self-image, and that will affect us very badly. So Deborah had a right that was forcefully taken, and that is her primary fundamental right to life, and it's our duty to seek redress, even for a dead Deborah. Thank you.
Fantastic. Wow, wow, wow. I told you she got the power and she used it. You know, we said our topic, we are talking about human rights. What we said is you got the power. You see, Barrister, a lot of what our human rights activists, not just advocates, activists has stated here is saying that we need to, because last time you were talking about raising fiat, and I heard you, I know what you're talking about, but she has gone beyond that. She went beyond that to talk about the fact that we need to sue the state. I want, before I ask you to answer, if today we talk only about Deborah, that is fantastic, because it's not about the fact that she's dead. And okay, let's wait for another. If we can't do something for this, how can we do for another? And they say, it's your past that determines your future. Right now, our sweet and wonderful speaker, whom I love, says that we need to sue the state. Barrister Tokbe, the first, I know you can talk about human rights saying is a declaration, is not a law, it's true. But when declarations are done, are given or made, what that means is you can push and enforce your state or country to enact it as law. And the good thing then, irrespective of the fact that human rights is a declaration, not a law, a lot of countries like Nigeria and UK have put in the declarations and made it as a law. For instance, the first law of human rights says, all humans are born free and equal. We know that, yes. The third human rights declaration said, Everyone has the right to life, to live in freedom and safety. And in the Constitution of the Federal Government of Nigeria, it also talks about all Nigerian citizens has the right to live free and safe. However, did Deborah have that right? Absolutely not. It was stolen from her. And they say she's dead. Let's move on. And as we have always said, as long as we fail, the other day we were talking about accountability. I say I die here because accountability is what separates the people that enjoy rights from those that don't. You know, we were talking about side chick, and I said accountability I am insisting on is not about side chick. You know, it's not about your husband, your wife. No, yes, it touches on it, but that is just one out of a billion. If we don't ask for accountability of actions, how can we get justice and live free and safe? I want to throw this question back to you again, Barrister Tokpe, because of the fact that we now have a new suggestion on the table. Not ordinary suggestion, but it's a fact, because it's what is required of us to do, and we've done it severally when the states fail, or even in your places of work, or even in your places as a student. If the school authority or the people in the school fail to do certain things, you take them to court. You take, like some lecturers are sleeping with students. Students say, oh my God, he's the head of the department. He's the dean of the this. He's the vice chancellor of the university. He is the power. No, the students, if they fail to get justice in the school, can sue them to court. And the courts will now listen to them because their human rights have been infringed on. Our human rights advocate, Marjorie, have said that we should think of suing the state to court to demand accountability. Why was Deborah's life not secured? And since it's been taken, what justice can be done? I want you to talk about it once again, looking at the new suggestion on the table. Barrister Temitope.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Barrister.
Good evening, Barrister Council. You're welcome. Good to be here.
That voice is so sexy.
Thank you. Now, you see, the Nigerian system, the Nigerian legal system is structured in such a way that fundamental right enforcement procedure, you know, it makes it possible for a person other than the victim to actually sue for enforcement. And this is because sometimes the person that you want is right to be enforced is still suffering that.
Correct. Correct.
That wrong.
Yes.
For
And they are
example,
intimidated. Good.
Somebody is unjustly arrested, for example, is in prison for trumped up charges. And then if the law says that he is the only one to sue, what if the people who have arrested him are making it impossible for the lawyer to see him, to obtain his consent, his signature, and every other procedural issues that you must contend with before you bring the matter to court? So because of that, in the knowledge of the drafters of our laws, as far as the Fundamental Right Enforcement Procedure Rule 2009 is concerned, you can sue on behalf of a victim as an interested party.
Fantastic. It's not just you. Yeah, go on.
So, it means that if somebody's right has been, trampled upon, the civil society organizations like NBA, private citizens can approach our court for redress. Sometimes it might even be compensation. There was one very curious case, I think in the United States of America, about Abdul Muttalib. I know very many of us remember the man who tried to bomb an airplane in the US at the time, the son of a former GMD of First Bank, a Nigerian who, became radicalized and then became a terrorist. Now, he was imprisoned in Guantanamo Bay, that serious place in the US. And then he began to make demand for the kind of food that should be served to him. This is somebody who was, arrested for attempting to kill hundreds of persons. He was going to bomb the plane. Now, he took the government of the United States to court that his fundamental human right was being denied.
Yeah.
Now, the African in you will want to wonder why such a person should even be given human rights or, whatsoever. And he said, I'm here, you're punishing me, but then the law says that I should be treated with respect, and you're not treating me with that respect. You are trampling on my rights. That is how fundamental, how germane, and how important rights are. It does not stop at those who are, quote unquote, innocent alone. In fact, one of the reasons why our laws will say that somebody is innocent until proven guilty is because the law is also trying to ensure that there is fairness and that his right is protected. So we can do it. Societies can do it. If you remember this very popular legal practitioner, Ganifa Wemi of blessed memory, became, public defender in a way, testing our laws at various courts, ensuring that we enrich our jurisprudence by testing our laws and seeing whether or not you can actually say this person is being denied, something must be done about it. Well, it is not necessarily that it is you, the person that is suing, that is suffering the trampling upon. And this is also very important that we should know that when a person is denied and we say nothing, especially when the person who is suffering that denial is vulnerable and weak and powerless, and then we look the other way because we feel we are not concerned, we forget that what we are invariably doing is that we are giving power to evil, to a repetition of that thing. Because when you feel they came for the carpenter, you say you are not the carpenter, you did not do anything. They came for a teacher, you say, well, I'm not a teacher, I don't know him, you didn't do anything. By the time they come for you, there will be nobody left to fight for you too.
Yeah.
So that is why it's important that we go beyond, because these things that we do is also very important, is also very good. In fact, the place in our profession, there is this, we are always encouraged to take up cases, even as legal practitioner, on pro bono basis, if we know that the person is financially incapable to fight the cause, especially if we see that on the face of it, prima facie, the person's right has been denied, the person has been unjustly treated, and then you feel that it is not fair what has happened to that person. Our courts, our legal system, our laws enjoined legal practitioners to take up such matters pro bono. You do it in the interest of the public. You do it in the interest of justice and fairness and peace. Sometimes too, it might not even be something as fundamental as human rights, because I believe very strongly that our relationship with one another, the concept of fairness and equity, is tied to our belief in the fundamental right of an average person. Look at the chapter 4 of our Constitution, from the first right in section 33 to the one in section 46, you will see that everything revolves around how to treat the next person, how to be fair to the next person. For example, the one that section 33, that is the bulk of what we are discussing today, which is what Deborah suffered, the right to life. And these rights are inalienable in the sense that it is not something that you can just wake up on a whim and say you are taking it away from that person and say, okay, because of what you did, I'm no longer giving you right to life. Or because of what you did the other time, I'm not going to give you a right to fair hearing. These are the things that are important. So beyond these things we do, I think individuals in our private capacity, civil societies, should look beyond just, looking for money to get by, like the last speaker said. As professionals, sometimes you go to court and then you see a person has been brought to court, he has no legal representation for an offense that carries a maximum sentence of 2 years. He's been there close to 2 years. He has not even been tried. You don't even know if he's going to be guilty. If he's guilty, eventually he's going to spend maximum of 2 years, and he's been in prison 1.5 years, 2 years. Nobody is representing the person because he has no one. The humanity in you, if you're a lawyer in court in such situation, regardless of whether or not he has the capacity to pay you, the humanity in you should say, so this is the offense you have charged this person for. Even if he's guilty, is it not this number of years that the law says he should spend? Now, from what you are saying, he's been in prison for close to that number of years, and yet he is not discharged. You are not even charging. Nobody is even doing the case. You have not sentenced. At that point in time, the professionalism in you should kick in. You should find your way, do something about it, and ensure that the person, gets freedom. Because sometimes too, you go to our court system. It's part of why you see our prisons are congested. Congested because sometimes the people that are there, it is trumped up charges. One big man is angry because one person said something, and then they want to use his big manism to trample on the right of another. So because we have complacent security agencies who will dance to the gallery of any rich man that is ready to pay, you see that somebody who ordinarily should be given fair hearing is just bundled and thrown away into prison to show you that we own this country. And then the person begins to rot again. Professionally, as what do we do at that point in time? So it is not limited to Deborah. Everybody, God forbid, is more or less a Deborah in waiting. Because once such thing happens, and the problem is not solved. The people who do it are not brought to book. It emboldens those who do the evil to try and do another. And then, when it goes on, and I tell people, if you see evil and you don't talk, you look the other way, you are as guilty as the doer of that evil.
Absolutely, yes.
You are as guilty as that person. Because when you say you are not going to talk, if you say you are not going to talk, you are giving power to the person who is doing it. But how many of us in our closet, how many of us do right by our housemates? Let's start from there. How many of us do right by our driver? You are a multi-millionaire. You pay your driver a party of 55,000 naira, and you are a multi-millionaire. And then you go all over the internet, you are speaking English about how beautiful your life is, how you are a human rights activist, how do you treat your house girl? Do you see her as human being? Is it deserving of your fairness and equity? Do you treat her right? When you go to eatery, does she sit at the background and she's not served, and your children eat while she starves? Is that what you do in the closet of your room as individuals. How do you behave before you bring the conversation to government, to this person, that person? In closet of your room, one of my guys will say, if I want to judge the character of the man, I look at how he treats subordinates, not his organ.
Very important. Yes. Very, very.
When you treat organ right, it is, the position is allowing you to treat them right. For your subordinates, your driver, your cook, those ones who clean your house, how do you treat them? Are you fair to them? Do you pay them fair wages? Of course, this might not be part of fundamental right. But if you say somebody has a right to life, and he does not get fair wages that you are capable of paying, how does he enjoy that life? How does he get what is commensurate to him? How does he understand that he is human and should be treated fairly? So these are conversations that are necessary. Your house, you treat a child as if he's a slave, and then you come outside to say you are fighting human rights, you are fighting equality. Are you a model of equality? Are we, our people who are listening, who are listening tonight, are you models of equality? Are you models of fairness? Are you models of fundamental right? Are you a landlord listening to me? You don't give your house to a person because it's from a different tribe, and you are listening to me tonight, and you think the only people who have problem is the police and the army? Of course not. You start from yourself, so that when you talk, your conscience will not be judging you. Then we'll take the conversation from there and then play our roles as individuals, as civil societies, and talk when you see something that is wrong. If you need to write a petition. If you need to approach the court, as lawyers, of course, we do that at no cost. But if you are not even a lawyer, there are public defenders, there are human rights defenders, there are organizations in this country who take up cases of this nature pro bono. So you can do this thing, but we don't just talk, we take action. Thank you very much.
Oh my God, I wanted to dance pop champagne. Let me dance it. Pop champagne. Please let me dance, Joe. Una, don't kill me. Where we there? Where then they? Wait. Which one did that? Sorry, I go pop champagne. I go pop champagne today. Where my this thing? Hey! Pop champagne. the best. These guys are the best on earth. You can't get any better because, look, it's not about how long, how old, how this is about how interested, how passionate, how dedicated, how much you want to give to this. Huh? Jesus Christ. Friends, you are the best. But before I ask our human rights activist, Marjorie, a question, I want to say this. Yes, I want to remind, because I said I will stop at a stage and come back to my introduction. You see, human rights was never given. Okata, human rights was, in fact, even the people that declared human rights did not do it because they love you too much to give you your rights. No, it wasn't. It's because of certain, in fact, let's put it this way. At first, there were no human rights. At the beginning, there were no human rights. If you were in the right crowd, if you were mingling with the kings, mingling with the highest people of high status, you're safe. You're safe. If you were not, you are not safe. Be you man, be you whomever you are, you're not safe. So it took men, it took the likes of Cyrus the Great, Cyrus the Great, to free slaves. It took an individual, he was a high man anyway, to free slaves after a lot of battle upon battle. In the olden days, they were fighting every time. You wake up fighting, you're sleeping, fighting. So after that, it also took a lot of British rebels in America to declare their independence before the king. That's when America was bettered. That's independent America. They said all men were created equal. However, that was in 1776. Yet, Africans, Asians didn't enjoy that freedom. Instead, we were all enslaved and colonized. Yes, because why? You need to fight for your rights. You need to gain your rights. That was then. However, when all this America gained their independence, those in Europe were gaining independence, yet Africans and Asians were still enslaved and colonized. It was in 1915, when a young boy, I think his name is Mahatma Gandhi from India, when he decided that enough is enough. That was when Middle East, that's in between conflict, he said, all human beings are equal, not just Europeans. Also, farms, I want to take you back to history. You remember Hitler, I think the what do you call it? The nail, something that broke the nail that broke the camel's back was Hitler. When Hitler exterminated about half of the Jews in the world, he exterminated them. A total, I think, of about 90 million people died. That was when people said never, because human rights almost came to extinction. So what happened? All the countries came together. Remember, they first came together to form League of Nations. What happened? That was after First World War. They were fighting, as I said. Countries are fighting. If you win, you have rights. If you lose, you are enslaved. They said they don't want to fight. They are tired of fighting. They created League of Nations. That was in 1920s or so. It failed. After League of Nations, to prevent further war broke out again. They continued fighting. That was Second World War. After Second World War, in 1945, I think, United Nations was formed. Why was it formed? They're tired of fighting. It's not that they love you. They were tired of fighting. Everybody fight. United Nations. What was the main purpose of forming United Nations? To maintain international peace and security, and also to reaffirm the faith in the foundation of human rights. Yes. What am I trying to say, family? I'm trying to remind us that as easy and as sweet as it sounds, human rights, it was fought for. I repeat, as sweet and as easy as it sounded, human rights, it was fought for. People were not free before. Yes, we are born free, but people that had the might, the military might, they will not give it to you. You have to fight and fight and fight to get it. The worst part of it all, upon the fact that the United Nations, which Nigeria is a signatory to or a member of, and the rights have been declared that these are basic human rights. Yet, we still need to fight for this right. Otherwise, like you all are saying, I'm reading your comment. Oh, it's not the same in Nigeria. Oh, Nigeria is this. It's because we have failed to hold the people in leadership accountable. Why should a leader, why should a governor come to you and tell you that he's doing you a favor? Who was he not voted for? Why should a leader come and decide to just take every resources and not do any job? Embezzlement of resources everywhere. And you will, like Madam Marjorie said, you will say, oh, after all, he's better than the other. Forgetting he is there to serve you. Just like in our mind. This is a platform where we are serving you. We always serve you, we give you things, and we continue to serve you. We bring the best speakers on earth to serve you. Madam Marjorie, you guys are beautiful, brilliant. You've spoken well. You charged the solicitor or the barrister. You said, no, you didn't charge him, but you made a statement that we need to take the states to court. Now, the solicitor, the barrister confirmed, and he said that civil societies, non-governmental organizations, individuals can take up the case. I know what he's trying to say. As a barrister, he won't be able to take the case, I think, if my memory serves me right. But I don't know if he was talking about something that looks like legal aid. And I was happy. Oh, there's legal aid in Nigeria, whereby those that don't have money can get legal support that can be defended. They will defend them. That's called legal aid. Madam Marjorie, my question to you is this. Since you threw up something different from what we've been saying before, that the states can be taken to court, and Tope here said, yes, civil societies, individual groups can take this case to court. My question to you now is, I know you are in the East, you're not in the North. However, I know you have umbrella group all over the nation. Do you think that, or do you know, or can you tell us a typical example of what you've done, taking a case to court, and how you can advise us, or what you need to say on how we can get to take the state? I also don't know where the state is, because I just heard it from a family member last week on the day of the talk show. They told me last week. So I want you to tell me, from your umbrella organization, NGO, civil society groups, which group do you think is best suited to take these kids to court in terms of charging the state government to give the right to life and safety they fail to protect. Since they fail to protect it, how can we demand justice for Deborah? What do you have to say about that?
Thank you so much, Angel. Every day, the life of a justice advocate is defending the defenseless, basically. And we prioritize the vulnerable in our midst, which women, children, and persons living with disability and the old and infirm are classified as. Okay? And having said that, every day we're encouraged to protect, support, reinstate, and demand the rights of citizens who often 99% of the time we don't know them.
Wow.
So that's our life. It's a practical life we live. Oftentimes, persons who are facing one persecution or the other, not of their making or because they fell foul of any law, but because people feel they can get their way with them and nothing will happen, have been housed in our homes. In our homes, because largely in Nigeria, the state lacks the infrastructure structure that will provide a safe space or a halfway house for these vulnerable persons. Yes, I do know that some organizations are actually in the fall of agitating for Deborah. Okay? There are certain
Sorry, did you say you know there are some already doing that? Is that what you said?
Yes, I believe so. Ayo Padokun and some other legally focused civil society organizations are in the front of calling for justice for Deborah. It's like the Leah challenge. Leah, the schoolgirl that was abducted in the heat of Boko Haram insurgency during Goodluck Jonathan's president tenure. And some organizations jumped on the bandwagon effect. And at a point in time, even the United States president's wife at that time, Michelle Obama, campaigned for Leah's release. But like the things in Nigeria, if you don't stay on the trail, if you don't keep it in the face of the people, if you don't get support, especially local support for these causes, it will fizzle out and die, especially when the funds for this intervention runs out. Okay, so these are some of the challenges, but it's not that people have not agitated, groups have not spoken in pain for Deborah's rights to be reinstated, so to speak.
Justice.
Yes, people have, and people are. But the truth of the matter is that Nigeria, it's a peculiar place. We have the laws, and everybody believes, because of the examples in our national spaces perfected by our supposed leaders, that there is no law there is lawlessness in Nigeria. And people do not even want to test the law. They do not want to engage it because the last election, national election in Nigeria, has shown that the judiciary, which used to be the last hope of the common man, is greatly compromised. We no longer have men of honor who will damn all the consequences and stand for what they believe is true and fair. So these are the problems. Recently in Nigeria, one of the 4 organizations, or civil rights organizations, Serap offices in Abuja, was stormed by security agents, persons believed to be security agents, and ransacked. Okay? Serap is one of those 8 organizations, civil society organizations that are focused on legal advocacy and representation for voiceless, and who take up issues of law for the general good of all. So I believe that Serap also instituted a case calling the government to question and accountability on the Deborah issue. So these are some of the examples. Civil society organizations have always been in the vanguard, but I, as a player in this space, would want to see a sustainable intervention that is driven from home, that is powered by the people, until the people are part of these conversations, until the people are the ones who drive where intervention should be taken to, should be given to, where focus, until they begin to know what this is and demand it. We will keep making motions and never really make any progress, because like every other engagement, whether in rallies, whether in campaigns for one thing or the other, if there is no funding, these things cannot go far. And you can agree with me, whether pro bono or whatever, litigation is cost tied. It's not easy right now. And getting some courts, dispensation of justice takes time. It's not cost effective, it's not time effective. So this cost effectively creates exclusive, makes it an exclusive good for most people. So the role of civil society organizations is quite critical, but we cannot take that role away from the role of funding. And this funding usually is provided by international organizations who have their own agendas, which are often not our priorities. So there is a clash. So I, for one, do propose or push for a system that makes us, irrespective of funding, concerned and so worried about those things, that we can raise funds in a community. I propose a system where the community who has a daughter, a child, a son whose right has been violated, whether raped or molested, whether it's a school extorting that child, the community knows about it, and the community comes together as a whole in the support, in the protection, and then in the justice litigation for the institution reinstatement of the rights of that person. Where the community is involved, we'll begin to see ownership of the process and more people coming to an awareness about their rights and agitating for this right. That way, no policeman can easily harass a citizen. That way, no teacher can exploit or extort a student. That way, no lecturer can exploit a student, an undergraduate in the university, or a doctor in the hospital. This thing goes across every sphere of our lives. Last week, the lecturers at the Imo State University were calling out their members of their ASU branch for a strike. And one of the things they wrote as their reasons was that they were demanding for justice in the unfair wages they were paid, and in the way they were treated, and in the Maradonic dribble that the government, of course, the visitor to the university and the VC and the management have been taking them through. And when I looked at that, I wept. I said, what am I running? These are the same lecturers who perpetuate the very same crimes and injustices they are denigrating the government for perpetuating on them, on the students. They make them buy handouts, they transfer and transmit pays which are not approved by any authority on these students, and nobody's talking. In the primary school, you can no longer have two children and one passes through another class and transfers his books to his junior brother. No, everybody, you have to buy books all over. It never used to be that way. So there is a lot of perpetuating of injustices and human rights abuse across board. And one of the fundamental rights is the right to education. But that is being abused grossly. People buy results. There are miracle centers all over the states. This is a fundamental infringement, and people are not talking. Everybody just say, I'll just cure, pay, and get the service and go. So there are groups that are sensitized, that are trained, that have prioritized the transmission and insistence for justice for people whose rights have been abused, denied, or grossly infringed upon in Nigeria. And yes, that's what we do on a daily basis, especially for women and girls and children, vulnerable persons living with disability who have been sexually molested, who are going to separation or divorce. We look for the children angle and make sure that the rights of these children within the confines of the marriage and the union that are so broken down, it's not denied or infringed on. Thank you.
Wow. So in summary, just a sentence. You said that some civil societies have started putting something together to take the state to court. Is that correct?
Yes, I'll do some research too on that and get you some of them,
please,
that are doing something, especially on the Deborah issue.
Please.
So maybe there can be collaborative synergy with them,
yes,
and find out what they do. So we don't begin to reinvent in the civil society space. We actually believe in leveraging existing platforms.
I agree.
We don't like reinventing a circle.
Yeah.
A wheel already. If something is working, we leverage on it to do the next rung of the work. Fantastic. We don't go setting up structures all over again. So I will look into that and get back to us on it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. We are very, very interested. Thank you, our human rights activists on this platform. Thank you, Marjorie. All right, you can mute. Before I come to you, Dr. Barrister Tobe, Madam Marjorie has a kind of thrown, she has thrown water on the populace, accusing us all, including myself, of the fact that we demand rights, yet we a kind of engage in all forms of abuses of rights. You also said it, Barrister. You also said it, and I'm throwing this to the family members. I'm throwing this to you, family members, because we keep saying the government. I don't say the government. I don't, because the government are nobody. Oh, Jesus. You see, the admin will tell you, they will say the government. I'll say us. They say the government. I say us. They say, Madam, you don't understand. And I feel very pained when I'm accused of not understanding, as if I'm far away. I know I am. But again, I have all of you are in Nigeria. I come to Nigeria. I lived in Nigeria before I came out. This is me. In fact, this country is a kind of humbling me. In Nigeria, I was an activist. Remember, let me just pop in something. Remember, I told you guys yesterday on our cooking show that I hated cooking. Why? Because one thing about me is anything I think they say a girl must do, I will never do it because I felt as a child. As a child, I said, God forbid, why will you give me something separate from my brothers? I won't do it. I won't learn it. I won't do it. So I hate. So they said, as a girl, you must learn how to cook. I refused. I refused and I closed my eye. I made sure I didn't learn how to cook because I didn't see why I would be taught to cook for my brothers. I refused. I never cooked for them. I'm not saying it's good or bad. But what I'm trying to say is I have been an activist against all this separation, trying to treat me separately from my brothers. I fought tooth and nail and I refused. I rejected them all. Right now, Madam Marjorie has thrown us a water. It's like throwing stone. She poured us water. And I want us to feel that water. The water is this, and I am happy it's done today. We accuse the government. I'm not saying the government is good. No, they are not. 0%. If you tell me to score our Nigerian government, I'll give them minus. They are owing us. They are not zero. Zero is positive. I'll give them minus. The government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is owing us. They are owing us service. They are owing us. They need to be investigated on to collect everything they have of us. However, they are not the issue. It's us, you and me. That is what I heard Marjorie say without saying it. Marjorie said, and I've said this time with her number, she started from schools, in hospitals, in courts, everywhere. People are bribing. Take, give me, take, give me, take, give me. We do it. We all do it, including me. You go, you're buying this thing, you're doing this, giving bribe, doing this, and yet we're shouting, government, government. What about you and me? It's us. It's not the government. When I say it's not the, I saw something someone wrote and I pinned it. They said, look at my namesake Angel. Angel said, even if we rise, the government will still not do the needful. It's not true. Sorry, I've never done this before in my life on talk show. I've never said someone is wrong. No, I didn't say you're wrong. I said it's not true. That does not mean you're wrong. Yeah, I've never said this, but I want to say it's not true. You see, if you had listened to Angel, I love you, and don't worry, we'll give ourselves something. But if you had listened to what Marjorie said we fail to demand our rights, and it's true. How? What about the march of no government? The march of how many days? We march 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. I'm not. They say, what about you? Yes, I'm also a victim. I raise my hand. I'm a victim. I'm also to blame. The government, don't blame them because you and I can decide to call them to justice. Oh, they won't. Who told you? He said, even if we rise the government, who told you? Okay, do you know about Bangladesh? Bangladesh, they are even worse than us. They are worse than us. In fact, Nigeria is a good state, so to say, compared to Bangladesh. At least I know we are corrupt. Bangladesh, go check now, go now. I know we are. The government is handling us harshly because we want them to. We want them to. But go to Bangladesh. Go to Bangladesh. Because we are crying, 4 years of hardship, 4 4 years of this, Bangladesh, one person will sit down there till they die. Tell me about that. I'm not saying our government is good. They are minors. Nigerian government, una owe us. Una they owe us. We will soon demand the accountability from you. We are all coming up. Go to Bangladesh. We are a prime minister or president. We rule and rule and rule. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and so on and so. People that are 25 say the president or prime minister is who they have been ruling since we were born. That is to show you how corrupt and authoritarian the country is. Guess what? Guess what? Last month or 2 months ago, between last month and when we were fighting, they were fighting. We didn't even fight. When we were agitating, they were agitating. Please, someone should quickly Google Bangladesh for me. The last agitation that removed the prime minister of 16 years. This prime minister of 16 years was prime minister for previous 16, how many years? Then went to another position, came back for another 16 years. One person. Nigeria is still crying. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, this country, we think our government is harsh. They no go fit try them. They are not. They are, but compared to Bangladesh, their government is one person will come, take power. In fact, not just take power, everybody around them will be their family members. Who does that? But when the people said enough is enough, it was the students. It was students in the university that said enough is enough. And they came and said, Prime Minister, we are not happy with this, your rule. We are agitating. They were shooting them. You know now, a country, one person will rule you for life. You know now, they will kill you. So the Prime Minister made an announcement. Go and shoot the student. The police, the army were shooting the student. The people were coming. They were shooting them. International bodies started shouting, no. Everyone, they were like, you stop it. That is violation. That is this. That is that. What happened? The student marched and marched and marched and marched and marched. What happened? The prime minister was overthrown. The prime minister ran. They didn't overthrow her. She ran, but she ran because she killed, she did this and that, and they continued. Right now, the prime minister, that they were demanding for something from her, not to even step down. They started by can you please Google, I'll read it. Google about Bangladesh. The last, I think is a month ago, they started by demanding for that law that will make 20% of the people in the seat of government to be family members and all those. They said they should change it. They refused. They were killing them. So when they killed them a lot, over thousands were killed. Then they now said, okay, we have agreed to change it. The students say, no, don't change it again. You will leave. The prime minister left. You see, when you say government will not agree, we are not ready. Oh, come and die. Yes, we need to. I need to also calm down because Nigeria is in my mind. But all we are doing, we are sensitizing, empowering, letting us know our right first. We are starting from the first step first. We need to know our rights. You know, Madam Majori said something. We don't demand it. We ask, give me a right. They will give you some money. You take and go, okay, leave the government, they try. That's what we are doing. And also, what about in our different areas? Because to me, it's not about the government. Let me see whether someone Googled Bangladesh. Google Bangladesh for me, please. Google Bangladesh for me. Google Bangladesh for me. Let's see, restricted. Google Bangladesh for me. Let me see if you guys will. Yes, so let me see. Yes, so it is the set time to rise. Google Bangladesh crisis for me and post it. Let me read. I'm looking at the comment. Google Bangladesh, the recent crisis. So she talked about our own areas where we're seated. Little bribe, little money. How much is the money? We'll collect and sell our rights. We have told you that your right cannot be sold, but we do sell it. We sell it. In any little place you are, for me, I said from birth. It starts from birth. But we won't go into it right now. I want to talk to Dr. Barrister Tope whilst I'm waiting to see you. Obianyo, you guys should quickly, Chichi and co, family members, Google Bangladesh and post. Let's read. Barrister Tope, our human rights activist has said it's not about the government. Okay, I think someone has posted it. Let me read. Former Bangladesh minister accused of killing students during protests heard for former junior minister for information and broadcasting Mohammed accused of. Okay, yeah, that's what they're accused of. So I wanted you to say something about them having been defeated. So yes, they were killing the students in thousands. The student kept coming, and right now she has left. They've left and a new prime minister is in place. All right. So another one said the Bangladesh fight you are referring to is likely the recent clash between the government and student protesters. The situation has been escalating since July. Thank you. Since July 2024, with the government deploying the army against unarmed students, imposing shoot-on-sight curfew. Yes, because she said, shoot them, but they didn't budge. So, and shutting down mobile, they shut down all the internet services. They shut internet services, blocked international community influence. The student, like Madam Marjorie said, it has to be homegrown. It's not international. So they shut all mobile devices, all internet services were shut down. This came after violent protests against excesses by security forces trying to quell a peaceful student protest campaign. The protest started when the High Court, okay, I think, yeah, let me see. 2 weeks ago, Bangladesh Bank Financial Intelligence ordered banks to freeze the accounts of this person's wife. I feel, oh, Jesus, a lot happened. Bangladesh, I must say to you guys, are worse off than Nigeria in terms of authoritarian leadership and what have you, but only students overthrew the government. That was so bad. Not to talk of us, but us, what we are looking at is in our different areas. We are talking, and yeah, these people were going on peaceful protests. They had no guns, no nothing. They just went peacefully like this. They were going on peaceful protests, and the human rights enshrined gave us that we have the right for peaceful protests. So wherever we are, we need to do the right things. We don't. We take 10 kobo and 20 kobo and sell our birthright, and yet to complain. Government, you are the government. You are the government. So, barrister, a lot of us don't know our rights. And I'm saying it without fear or favor. A lot of us don't know our right, in the sense that we think that we cannot, because what you just tell us, talk to us. I've been talking. I'm just tired of talking for now. Can you talk to us our rights? First of all, I said let's treat our right one by one. Today we are looking at the fact that we are all born free and we have rights to live free and safe in the society. My question to you is, how can we demand for our rights when it's been infringed on? For instance, we have freedom from safety, and yet armed robbers come to your house. You go to the police, they tell you to go and check how many guns the armed robbers are holding. How do we continue to demand for our rights so that we can exercise our human born right of freedom? of life and safety. Barrister Totman. Barrister, you're muted. Hello, Barrister. Okay.
I'm here. Sorry for. Now, there is one thing that is important about our demand for our rights, and that is the fact that we must first of all understand and know these rights. All the rights as entrenched in the various laws of the country, the Constitution being the ground norm, and of course, even the Human Rights Charter. It is what you know that you then demand for.
True.
So you must know that, for example, the one that is very popular that we talk about, there is, the right to life. Mm-hmm. And then we have this, your right to dignity of the human person. That was what I was trying to allude to when I spoke about the way we treat our co-workers, our subordinates, and all of that. Then your right to personal liberty. As an individual, nobody should be able to, whether a private person or a security agency, should not hold you unjustly and restrict your movement. Then you have a right to private and family life. Now, this right comes into play in certain situations. It's also tied to your right to privacy. Your right to privacy.
Can we explain one right instead of reading all the rights? Because you see, I don't want us to start reciting rights like we recite the national anthem, and yet we don't apply the national anthem. Can we focus? You tell us one right and tell us how to achieve it. For example, let me tell you something like, why do we not know how to all these rights are there, but we don't even know what it means and how to demand it. Can we start from one, whichever one you want to talk about?
Okay, we can talk about the right to dignity of human person.
Fantastic.
Now, that is, of course, you find that in Section 34 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, when you say right to dignity of human person, you are entitled to respect for your dignity as a human being.
Oh dear, sorry. Major record. Sorry, let me add major.
You are going to be treated as a human being. Your humanity should be the number one consideration when a person is dealing with you. You are not a number. You are not a statistics. You are not just some figure somewhere. So now, when such right is then trampled upon, how do you make a demand that you should be treated fairly? Could be in private individuals might even trample on it.
Yeah.
Governments trample on it. Security agencies might trample on it. For example, in the workplace, our labor laws are also tailored through dignity of human person.
Major, you can mute. Sorry, Major, mute. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Our labor laws is tailored in such a way that you respect the dignity of the human person, of your laborer, of the person, your workers, people who work for you. Now, where such is not the case, it does not necessarily have to be a fundamental right enforcement procedure, for example. For example, you have been let off in the office for prejudicial reasons. Something that does not respect your dignity. People say, no. From that place is from. We don't employ people like that. Why did you employ that person? Don't you that is you? Don't you know that is Igbo? No. Find a way to get him off, and then eventually the person is sacked.
Fantastic.
At that point in time, if you are looking at fundamental right, stricto sensu, you are not likely going to find a relief under fundamental right enforcement procedure rule. You will not. Because it will be difficult for you to bring your relief under that. But our labor law takes care of that. Which means there are other certain laws that flow from the Constitution, that flows from our fundamental right enforcement procedure rules.
Let me stop you here quickly. You see, when the person is dismissed based on ethnicity, the law is there for us to take them to court, but none of us will do that. No, that's what Major is saying. We don't do that. I see a lot of people complaining of one thing or the other. And I will tell them, let's do this. They'll say, no, leave it. And it's difficult for you to carry someone else's case. And sometimes I do. I won't lie to you. I do a lot. I do a lot of times. But that person that was sacked based on tribalism, ethnic group, the law is there to say it's wrong. If it's done, you should bring the person to court. If it's proven, it's this and that. I know there are ways to hide it, but if we can document and show documented evidence, and if we have evidence to prove the case, but people have evidence, they will say, I don't have time, I don't care, I leave it. And yet, you see, we fail to hold people accountable, and yet we want the right things to be done. Continue on that.
There are so many factors responsible for it.
Fantastic.
For not wanting to press charges, as the case may be. You know, in the country, one important thing about the way we perceive wrongs and our reaction to it is, for example, our financial status. Somebody who is on 60,000 pay has been sacked, and the person is to go to court.
Can I ask you quickly? You talked about the legal aid. What is legal aid?
Now, legal aid is there is an act of the parliament that is known as the Legal Aids Act. That is the law of the country that, you know, creates the Legal Aids Council.
Use a simple language. Let me ask you then. Legal aid is where you don't have money to pay for cases and you are found by the system to be entitled to a court case, and they will take over your case with free of charge. Yes or no?
Exactly.
Exactly. So why are people not told? Because a family member and an ex-pioneer admin, her name is Princess, she said those steps. Let me read out something in line with what you're saying. So our pioneer admin said those steps are costly, like you said also. When you check your pockets and responsibility, you just go your way. So because we, like our lovely pioneer admin, do not know that there is something called legal aid and a whole lot of other organizations, but at least the lawyers like you that are going into, there's some lawyers that are legal aid lawyers that you can go and approach, and they will take your case, and highest you pay little or nothing to them to get that. When I say little or nothing, I mean it as it is, to get that case done. So why are you guys not advertising the fact that there is legal aid in the country?
Well, there is legal aid in the country, of course, but then the legal aid, if advertised the way you want it to be, those guys would be, in fact, they are overwhelmed as it is. So those guys will be more than overwhelmed because, let's face it, they are usually not well remunerated. So you don't have as many lawyers who are legal aid lawyers. And then you consider the population of the country, and then consider the number of cases they are likely going to get. Then consider the manpower that they currently have. It's going to be difficult, if not impossible.
I will tell you to hold on here. We will continue next time on legal aid. please, because I'm looking at time. We have less than 5 minutes to close. And hold on, next week we'll continue on legal aid. Majorie, just give us 1 minute summary. I know you are in the field, you're doing cases without being paid and a whole lot of things, but people don't know it. Sensitization, like our brother said, it to be overwhelming, is 0 to nothing. What do you think we should do to, because empowerment is also knowledge. Knowledge is power. Information is power if used. So what do you have to say about awareness of what you have?
We need to continue gathering and sensitizing our people in the local communities. We need to make sure that president generals, the executive of town unions have basic trainings on human rights and civic responsibility and relevant legal framework. We need to see that the local laws at that level are harmonized with the existing police framework in the state and make them all know. We have to make it so attractive that everybody would want, and then collectively seek for justice. That is the only way, until we make it a way of life for people to disdain, to be repulsed, to be repudiated by an attack on somebody's rights. We will not get further than these conversations and make it a business. The business of every person with a voice, with a strength, with some level of influence to support those who don't have. Then, of course, we'll be just making motions without movement. Thank you once again for having me, and a beautiful week to all of us.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's time to go. Let's dance.
Kokoma, stand by. ADBC Conga, oh mommy's baby. Wonder, Kokoma, I stand by. ADBC Conga, oh mommy's baby. Wonder. On a baby, but I'm like, pull my hat, yeah. On a baby, but I'm like, pull my hat, yeah. I take you out. You say you like me, I tell you my own you. When you reach to find me fine things, you all about that, yeah. When you say it, you know me better. Try to understand, I said, I'm gonna keep tempting on me. So be fast, shake your body. You reach your mind, be from outside, hey. Yeah, I do something. I really know, I'm telling you, my heart, yeah. You want that for my hair on the rise. You want that for my sit on heroes. Anything for you, baby. You know my heart, yo. When I see it, I see a baby. You know my heart, I ọmọ òní bẹ́ẹ̀kì ọkọ̀ mbẹ̀lẹ̀ abọ̀ súwé bóyá flavour ọmọ òní bẹ́ẹ̀kì ọkọ̀ mbẹ̀lẹ̀ abọ̀ súwé.
Ukudia. Wow. Woo. Wow, wow. Let's see what the family members are saying. Yetunde is dancing. Angel, Angel, I love you. It's a remix flavor, not Angel, mommy. Yes, so Ezekiel Handler. Wow, I think they are new. Where is my angel? Angel, thank you very much for your comments. Thank you, every one of you, for your comments. I have never said no, but I did. I hear us. We all have our, little by little. What we are doing now is we are trying to prepare us, equip us, arm us, so that when we will start demanding, we'll be demanding without fear or favor. Thank you, guys. In our mind is always in my mind, and my destiny and your destiny is definitely in our hands. No one else. I want to say that we'll see again next week. This human rights, until we all get it, we'll be talking about our human rights. I love you, Queen Entowa. I love you, Angel. I love you, Yetunde. I love you, Bifem. I love you, Yetunde. I love you, Adeshina. I love you, Ezine. And I love you, Dai. Bola. I love you, Chichi. I love you, Daniel. I love you, love. I love you, Okafo. I love you, Joseph Nerot. I do love you. I love you, Blessing. I love you, Akin. Yes, sir. And I love you, Ezekiel. Yes, I'll have to say, yes, I love you, Princess. We can cite you. Thank you, guys. We'll see you again next week. But remember, I will be coming live tomorrow to, talk to you. I'm not going to work tomorrow, so I'll see you guys on the other side tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye. And we'll give away things tomorrow as well when we come live. So get ready. Yeah. Bye-bye. Love you.